Hi, Rocky Wren. Mrs. Slevin, one of your reading teachers, here to tell you about our Sustained Silent Reading program on Mondays. On Mondays, there's no rock time. Mondays, during rock time, is Ram's read time. This means that you should bring the book that you are reading with you to rock time every Monday. You get 25 minutes a week at school dedicated just for reading. What does this mean? And why do we set aside this time? Why should this be important to you? Mrs. Sweeney will explain.
Does it seem like adults are always telling you need to read, that reading is so important, and why aren't you doing it more? Your parents, your teachers, everyone wants you to read. Why? Well, I'm here to tell you why. Because it's going to help you succeed in life. And we tell you that about a lot of things, but when it comes to reading, it's really true. There's been a lot of research done that says that if you read for 67 minutes every day, you're going to do better on your tests, you're going to do better in school, and you're going to do better in your life. And that's really the goal. The goal is so you can be happy and successful, and you can have a great life ahead of you. So when we say 67 minutes, is that all at once? Do you have to read one book for 67 minutes every single day? And the answer is no. It means you can read 20 minutes in rock time during sustained silent reading, and then you can read 20 minutes in history class, or maybe 10 minutes in science class. And all of that's going to add up every day to 67 minutes. That is the goal. And when you get that book in sustained silent reading, should you just read a page and then put it down and start a new book the next time? Probably not. If you really want to read and become a better reader, you start in the beginning of a book and you end at the end. Not every book is going to be a book that you love. You might put a book down and try another book, and that's fine. But if you're constantly trying new books every week, you're really not going to get it very far. And you're certainly not going to enjoy the great stories that are inside these books. So that's why it's important. And we hope you enjoy it along the way. Thank you.
Yes, reading is an important life skill. But reading during Ram's Read on Mondays could also earn your rock time the cozy chair. What is this cozy chair, you ask? Mrs. Bartling will tell you more.
Oh, hi there. Welcome. You just caught me reading. The quest for the cozy chair is back. What's the quest, you ask? Mr. Fonts is searching rock time readers. If everyone, including the adults in the classroom, are reading during rock time, your rock time could win a cozy chair like this. And an added bonus is that the teachers of the rock time get a new book for their classroom library. Reading begins Monday, September 18th. Will Mr. Fonts catch your rock time reading? We'll see. I know that my rock time will be winning that week because we are in the quest for the comfy chair.
Ooh, Mrs. Bartling, that sounds like a challenge. Are the other rock times up for it? Will Mr. Fonts catch you all reading?
Hello, my name is Mr. Fonts, librarian here at Rocky Run, and I'll be the one going around catching everybody reading. The way it works is I'll walk into your room, and if everybody in your room is reading, including the teacher, you will receive a reward. You'll receive this nice, comfortable chair I'm sitting in right now, or one like it. You also receive a book for your classroom library for that teacher, and you also get to have a picture, which we'll put up on the website, and you get everybody able to see that you were all reading that day. Thank you, and have a good reading day.
What if you forgot your book, but don't want to let your class down in case Mr. Fonts shows up?
If you find that on a Monday you don't have a book, stop by the library. We have all kinds of books for you to check out. Also, if you don't have the time to come to the library, look at your classroom library in your rock time. They have plenty to choose from.
If you don't like reading, it's possible you just haven't found the right book yet. How can you find a good book for you? Ask a teacher for help. Here are a few suggestions from some of your teachers.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Brown. I wanted to share with you all the favorite book that I read over the summer, The War That Saved My Life. I chose this book because as a history teacher, I'm very interested in World War II. But this one drew me in because it's not actually about the war. It's about the people who were alive during the war and their struggles that they went through personally. I highly, highly recommend this book. Actually convinced both my father and my 7th grade niece to read it over the summer. She just sent me a text on the first day of school telling me how much she loved it. She was very excited about this book, and she's actually not an avid reader. So that right there is my recommendation to everybody watching this. Love this book. If you're interested in history, please pick it up. If you do read it, please come talk to me about it. I am more than happy to discuss this book with anybody who decides to read it.
So I'm really happy to be here sharing with everyone the book. This is in Spanish, but it's Aristotle and Dante Discover the Universe. It's been a while since I read a book that was appropriate for my students, so I'm really excited that we could bond over this great story. So what I really loved about this book is that I could identify with both characters and their parents. I found myself in the present time identifying with many characters, but also reminiscing about the time I was in middle school and high school. I feel like in this book every word was carefully chosen because it's so descriptive, and I really liked the overall themes of how we may feel individually, but when we start bonding with other people, it's like science. One person changes another person, and then we have some kind of great compound together. And some things were quite unpredictable, but it does turn into a sweet little romantic story, and it just really is nice to open your mind when reading this book. I think there's some surprises and things that you may not have ever thought about. So highly recommend, and if you read it, please come see me in room 150. I would love to have lunch with you and talk to you about the book. And I wanted to share one more thing. If you do read this book, there's something really special about water. And so it's almost like a code through getting through the book. So if you're somebody who likes to pay attention to how ideas are used, think about water when you read this book.
So this summer I read a book called The Brothers, which is a nonfiction book about American, political history in the 1950s and 60s. And I love reading, especially nonfiction, because it helps me as a teacher and as a history buff learn more about our country and about how things have always worked. And it helps explain to me sometimes how things work today. Oh, I've read so many of these.
Hey guys, this summer I read this book called Ghost by Jason Reynolds. It actually was a book that was recommended by another student, and they recommended that we read it, and I'm glad I read this one. I'm loving Jason Reynolds' stuff. It's a great story about a boy in 7th grade. His name is Ghost as a nickname, and I think his real name is Castle. And he's had kind of a tragic past. And he wants to be a basketball player, but actually has a lot of talent with running and his speed, and actually ends up joining a track team. And it's a story about how that track team really helps him start staying out of trouble and doing all of these really great things in his life. And even though he's still part of a bad part of town and kind of inner city, it's a great story of how he overcomes a lot of obstacles. I personally love it because it's one of the few times that I've ever read a book that had an African-American boy as its main character. So this, for me, I loved reading this because it kind of, reminded me of when I grew up, and I lived in New York for a little bit, and it sounds like he's kind of from like a city type thing where I was growing up. So I was almost picturing New York and picturing myself growing up a little bit in New York when I was really, really young. But this is a great one, especially if you want to kind of get that. And I'm loving this because I just found that this is a book series. So now Jason Reynolds is writing about a bunch of the members of the track team and telling their story. So we have Ghost's story, and next, that just came out, I think, last week, is Patina. And I'm so excited. I haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited to read the second book in this series. It's talking about Patina, and we actually met Patina in the first Ghost, but now we get to know more about her story. And so if you're thinking about reading Ghost and Patina, we can talk. Come and see me and we can talk about Ghost, and then I'm going to be reading Patina pretty soon as well. So we can go on this journey together. I'm excited for this. I highly recommend it. Ghost and Patina, and I'm looking forward to what Jason Reynolds is going to do with this series otherwise. Have fun reading, guys.
This summer, the Rocky Run teachers and staff participated in the same summer reading bingo that students were given. The staff was eligible for prizes too. Mrs. Brown won the Kindle for completing a blackout on her summer bingo, and several teachers won books for their classroom libraries by completing bingos. About 30 Rocky Run students completed blackouts, and so many of you had at least one bingo. One student will win the Kindle for their blackout. Let's find out who it is.
Hi, Rocky Run. It's Dr. Goodlow. I have some great news to share. I'm very excited to draw the winner of the Kindle from our Rocky Run Summer Reading Bingo. We had so many students participate. We're so proud of all the reading you did this summer. I know there's going to be great drawings for prizes, including books, and you're going to hear that over the announcements. But today, I'm going to draw a name from the students who did blackout on their bingo card. They made blackout bingo, and I have this bowl full of names, and I'm going to read it right now. So get excited. Congratulations to Miss Wetzel student Supreet Mishra. Supreet Mishra, congratulations. In Miss Wetzel's class, you have won a Kindle from Summer Reading Bingo. So proud of you. Congratulations.
The student raffle prize for each bingo completed is a brand new book. Listen for the winners on the announcements starting tomorrow. Hopefully, you have a book with you so that you can start reading today. But Rams Read officially begins next Monday. Enjoy your books and make sure Mr. Fonts catches your class reading.